Everybody, Guanta! Guanta! Mama! Guanta! Mama! Guanta! Mama! Mama! Aloledi, 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 alole Guanta, Guanta, Guanta. Freestyle. Ngalejo, Guanta, Ngalejo, Guanta, Ngalejo, Guanta, Mama, Dr. Guanta. Yeah, I'm on that. Yeah, I'm on that. Swimming.
Welcome to Afro-Cinema Mini Review. I am Marty and I'm very excited to be here today.
I'm Dialyn and today we'll be reviewing The Best Man starring Jackie Appiah,
Oyen and Olivia Obey, Smart Maxwell, Too Sweet and It, produced by Eric Chibukem Omaka and Oyen and Olivia Obey. I'm Gladys.
In The Best Man, there's a beautiful woman that's smitten by her husband's best friend, and she's completely powerless in his presence, and her jealousy and things like that seems to be in control until an innocuous individual comes along and ruins her dreamy bliss.
Jackie Appiah as Renan in this movie, who was married but fell in love with another man.
And there was Pearl, Olivia Obey played Pearl, and she was in an abusive, well, she was being abused by her stepfather. Smart Maxwell played the character Duke in this movie, who happens to be the best friend and the best man in this movie.
So Gladys, why did you pick this movie?
Oh, yeah,
I have to ask.
Actually, I picked this movie because from the very beginning of the movie, it's interesting, with the whole sexual abuse part that started, with the movie. And so it kind of drew my attention to watch this movie and really know how the story of abuse was going to end. Because this is something that, lots of people go through, whether it's in Africa or, around the world. And so it really drew my attention to watch this movie until the story turned.
It did turn. Yeah, I'm going to say that.
Yeah,
but
so.
From the beginning, the very first scene was very interesting to me. I was just looking forward to see what was going to happen next. And it just didn't do it for me. I'm sorry. Like, just for when Jackie Appiah character came in, I just, from the girl explaining what had happened to her with the rape and everything, and her response, just by not taking her out of the situation is just, after that I just lost all interest in the movie.
And that is common too when we talk about, the African certain, because a lot of these things you cannot say it out loud. Is someone going to believe me or whatever? And this person in the movie was Jackie Appiah's uncle, and so I felt like she found herself in a position. Should I report my uncle? Like she's
right. Abuse is abuse. If no matter what the situation is,
which is true. I'm not backing that up. Yeah. I'm totally against it. But what I'm saying, if you as her niece or whatever, like she stated in the movie, if I was to call the police on this guy, right, I'll be the same person to bail him out. Right. And I don't have such money.
So what about the victim in the whole scene? Her uncle is not the victim. The girl is the victim. So what about her?
It's true. She just found herself.
So she was in a rock and a hard
place. Exactly.
So what should she have done is to take her out of that situation.
Which she eventually did, but right, it was a little slow in doing that and stuff.
To say what, in accordance to what Madia is saying, she's just saying she shouldn't have even let that go till later. Yeah. It should have been addressed right away.
Right. It shouldn't have escalated because her uncle, I understand it's her uncle, his family, but if he's doing, that to a child, somebody else's child, like raping her, she should have done. But so with that, right after that, I just lost all interest in watching the movie because I felt like, from her response, it wasn't worth watching. But anyways, the story itself, it seemed like it was two stories into one. It took me a while to really get the story. Just apart from the first scene, it took me a while. I felt like I was watching two different movies. Mm-hmm. I lost interest, but then with Jackie Appiah's character in the movie, I just kept watching to see watching more to see what she was going to bring or what the story was going to bring to the table. But
for me, I feel like they totally lost the plot for the movie. They had a great concept, you know, with the title of The Best Man, but the whole script didn't really address that title as The Best Man. The script writing was poor, the lighting was poor, the sound was horrible. There was a whole scene with no sound. They could have come back and edited that and either put sound or, you know, add subtitles. I just feel like they were so lazy. How could you be so lazy? Did this movie not get edited before it was released? Like, who, you know, this is 2014. Who does that?
It reminds me of when African movie first started. Like in the very beginning, you know, those were the times where you will see like movies like that with poor lighting quality and you know all that stuff. But I mean, in 2015, I did not expect to see that. Like 2013, 14, 15, I did not expect to see that. So I just thought for a minute that maybe that I went back in time. Because you know at this day and age I did not expect to see that.
There was no growth.
There was no what?
I mean there was no growth in the production.
So I think that they needed a whole lot of improvement in the movie, the story, just you know everything.
Yeah, and I feel like with the whole plot, they should have added more, better scene fillers. There were a lot of unnecessary films, you know, so I blame this on the director, you know. They should have known better. Like, they should have added a scene of the wedding. They should have added maybe scenes with, like, a bachelor night or, you know, shown some more of, like, the bridal crew. There was, like, a lot of unnecessary scenes. Like, for instance, there was a scene where it says a week later, right after the wedding, you're expecting some sort of drama to unfold, and they go back into this rape scene with the you know, with Pearl's character and the stepfather or uncle abusing her. I felt like that was just
the movie title is The Best Man, and watching it you will look forward to saying no wedding. Where is the wedding? No wedding.
I mean, even with the Best Man title, you know, and it started with a rape scene, you know.
Thank you.
Totally off. You know, I did not. Yeah, I did not get it. Why did they even name it The Best Man? Because that part came in, you know, somewhere at the end of the show or something.
And in addition to what Madea said earlier, you would think, like, it did take me back in time, because I don't feel like in 2014 they should be still making movies that are 2-part long.
That's my point.
It's not necessary. This movie should have been told in one part, and probably the whole part 2 explained the whole movie. That had more to do with what the whole storyline is, as opposed to part 1. So you need, you know, producers.
Even if it was just a part 1 movie, it still would have been a happiness. Like, there is nothing to take from this movie, you know.
I think
it didn't do
the good thing is I'm glad I'm not in Africa, because if I would have bought a ticket to go to the cinema and watch this movie, I would have asked for a refund. I would have asked for a refund, seriously, because I don't think I would have, you know, just sat there and watched the movie without asking for a refund. The movie is horrible. The lighting, the picture quality, the script, and everything is just horrible. I mean, I'm sorry to say this, but I hope this can be a constructive criticism for the producers for the next movie or story, and we will follow up with that producer and see maybe the next movie to see. Just watch it and see what she have in mind for the next movie.
I mean, you know, making movies is not easy, but you would think, again, this is 2014. You can Google this type of information. You can watch YouTube. There's so many outlets where even if you don't go to school for this, but you strive to do this, you know, she could have done better. You know, somebody, I mean, even Jackie, she could have given some feedback. You know, don't they let them review? I'm sure she had some type of a review before the movie was released, or maybe she didn't. I don't know. Maybe they do things differently in Africa, but here, you know, there's a pre-screening, you know, in the U.S.
Well, sometimes, I'm going to stop you there, because sometimes they do give you a script. I don't know for their movie production or how they did theirs, but sometimes the producers usually give you a script from on your saying what you're supposed to do in the movie and just your part of the movie. I don't know if she was given the entire story, but it could be that she only had her script for her saying and what she was supposed to do in the movie, with not reading the entire script, you know, for the entire movie maybe. But however, this producer,
I can interject. You know, I agree with you that usually they would split up the scripts and, you know, just give you what you're supposed to be reading. But again, if we're going to compare it to Hollywood, when, you know, you're approaching like the main actor or actress, the lead, they tend to get like the entire script because they have to know what they're getting into. So I would assume like for somebody like Jackie, they would have given her the whole script. But forget that, the script could have been written in a way where she felt like, okay, it's a good movie. Again, like I said, it was a great concept for a movie, but they just lost the plot when they filmed the movie. So it's possible the script was a little better, or when she read it, she felt like, okay, this could be a good movie. But they just lost the plot when they were filming the thing.
You cannot just go out there and say, I'm a producer. They have to, you know, inspect these movies that are being produced because it reflects, you know, on them. We are talking about Nollywood in general.
But
it's what acting.
Yeah, but also it could, maybe this producer has done other movies that came out really good. It was just maybe it was just this one movie that were, you know, actually bad.
I can't wait to see that movie.
I just hope, you know, this was like the only movie that she, you know, was horrible for her, because if this is her first, it could be
maybe it's her first. We could give that. It could be her first movie, and I swear, if I would get $1 for every bad review that's going to come upon this movie, I would be wealthy. Yeah. Well, every bad review.
The movie title is. Let me just go back real quick again. If the movie title is The Best Man, and watching The Best Man, what I expected to see was like everything revolving The Best Man.
Exactly.
So even the rip scene, maybe if it was from The Best Man or has something to do with The Best Man, I would say it made sense, but it was good to pull it in there. But how was that related to the? I mean, how
I can
was
answer that for you. I can see where she was going with that, because with that, she was trying to show Pearl going through all this miserable stuff, you know, being raped and all that, and then Pearl ends up having a happy ending. We'll just leave it at that. Not to give away the movie. But she was trying to show her, you know, going through all this horrible stuff and having this hard time, and then, you know, she has a happy ending. So I can see where
they all agreed, you know, it had a really nice ending. You know, Pearl, who suffered, you know, abuse and stuff.
I didn't watch the ending. I must confess.
I don't think it's.
I thought it had. She was happy again, you know, with the best man, Pearl, and it wasn't her stepdad who was sexually abusing her. So I thought it had a great ending.
Well, if you say that,
I couldn't make it.
Overall, if I was to rate this movie, you know, I'll give them 2 peppers, because I thought they did, you know, their best. And I don't know about you.
I will give it 0 peppers, even a bell pepper, not even a hot pepper. But, you know, I mean, okay, you know, just because it's hard to produce a movie and whatnot, so I'll give them 1 pepper. And, you know, I still do encourage the producers and directors out there to continue to do what they do. You know, I know it's a struggle. We're not pros. We're just reviewing the movie, but we're hoping you learn from your mistakes, because, you know, we did point out a few things here. Right. So keep doing what you do, and we appreciate it, and keep making your movies. And we'll look forward to seeing you again soon. Feel free to leave feedback on our Facebook page and things like that.
Well, I think I'm going to give it a 1 pepper, because Jackie Appiah is in it, and I really love her movies. But
I do too.
Like she said, we just have to keep reviewing, and producers, directors, just keep trying. Try to do your best. We are not pros, but we're just gonna review these movies for our viewers to make better selections. Look for The Best Man at your local African movie vendors, or you can look online. Watch the movie and just let us know what you think. You can give us feedback by going to our Facebook page and just comment below. Let us know what you think with The Best Man, movie. And that will conclude our show for today. Thanks for watching Afro-Cinema Mini Review.
I'm Gladys.
I'm Dialyn. Thanks for watching.
I'm Madia, and our show is being aired bi-weekly on TV Africa with a K.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Afro-Cinema Review.
Everybody, Guanta! mama, quita, mama, quita, mama, mama. Aloledi, 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 alole quita, quita, quita. Freestyle. Ngalejo, quita, ngalejo, quita, ngalejo, quita, mama, just a quita.